Hi there guys, so today I'm going to be making a Tres Leches cake, and I'm going to start off just by making my simple syrup. So as you can see, I have my scale ready to go along with my measuring cup. I'm going to be doing this on the scale so that I have the proportions right. Let me grab my ingredient. I only left the heavy cream in here. And let's put that into milliliters. So it's gonna be 240 milliliters of heavy cream. Almost. Alrighty, 240. And then I have 180 milliliters of evaporated milk. So 240 plus 180 is going to be 420. I didn't zero it like I should have, but that's okay. I'm good at math. Just a little bit more, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Then we're gonna do 210 milliliters of sweetened condensed. Let's zero it first. Let's see, that's 209. It should be 210. Alrighty, perfect. Last step is some vanilla. I was gonna add rum to this, but I'm having my friend over with her children and I don't want it to be alcoholic. So we're gonna do it this way. And we're gonna do, it's 5 milliliters of vanilla. Now that I have the syrup done for my Tres Leches cake, I'm going to start whipping my egg yolks and doing the egg foam method. So I'm going to start with the egg yolks. I have 75 grams of yolk here, and then we have half of our sugar. And we're going to whip this until it hits our ribbon stage, and we'll be able to tell how that looks when it comes together in a nice and it's pale yellow. Alrighty, we reached the ribbon stage, and I'm going to show you how you can tell. You're going to pull the whisk up, and if you can see, it's still ribboning over itself and keeping. Now I'm going to do the egg whites. I have 120 grams of egg whites in a clean stainless steel bowl that's dry. And I'm going to whip these until they're foamy, and then we're going to add the cream of tartar and the other half of sugar. Now I have my egg whites right where I want them, and as you can see, when I pull the whisk away, it holds that nice stiff peak, nice and ready. Now we're gonna just gently put those in the sink, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold a third of this into my whipped egg white. And we don't want it perfectly incorporated. You're still gonna see some streaks, but you just wanna get it nice and lightened so that you can add the rest. And then once I get all of this incorporated, we're going to add the flour that I already sifted with the baking powder. So I'm just mixing up these egg mixtures and they're almost combined. Now I'm just gonna gently add the sifted flour. And we don't want to mix it too much because we're gonna lose all that air we just incorporated into the eggs. So I'm gonna just sprinkle some of that flour on top and baking powder. And we're gonna gently fold that until it's combined. Then when we're done doing this, we're just going to evenly distribute this batter amongst these two pre-lined pans. I've put baking spray and parchment paper. And another little bit of flour. And I will be back once I have divvied these into the baking pans and they're ready to go in the oven. I have my batter in my cake pan and we're gonna throw this in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350. So we don't make a huge mess. We're gonna add my powdered sugar, and then we're also gonna add the vanilla. Make sure we get all that deliciousness. I use a vanilla bean paste, which has a lot better, like a lot stronger flavor than an extract. It's also a little bit thicker. I'm just going to give the bowl a quick scrape down. And then we're going to get back to whipping this and we're going to make sure that it's nice and fluffy when it's done. As you can see, my beautiful chantilly cream is nice and ready to be put on our cake once it's cooled and soaked with the syrup. I just pulled my cake from the oven. It pulled from the sides very nicely. We're gonna let this cool real quick on our cooling rack. We're gonna bring this over here. I'm just gonna flip it over. Alrighty, now I'm just gonna pour my 3 milk syrup over my cake, and I punctured a couple holes into it. So we're just gonna let this sit and soak for about 3 hours before we build our cake out of it. Alrighty, now I have let my cake soak for a couple hours and we're just gonna quickly, my icing bag almost fell open. That was not good. Alrighty. So I've had my cake soaking for quite some time, so I'm going to start building my layers. I'm going to cut open my pastry bag. We're going to make a border with the chantilly cream. Coming up the top. I overfilled my bag by accident. Let me just So we're just gonna pop those on top. I've already cut them, so we didn't waste our rounds. I didn't want to waste the rounds that came on the cake. Alrighty, and we're gonna cover that. And then, like I said, I'm just gonna take my offset spatula and I'm just gonna dirty ice it so that it gets covered. Now I have my dirty iced Tres Leches Cake. And we have our fruit jelly in the middle of the layers. And I'm gonna stick this in the fridge so that that chantilly gets nice and hard, and then we can pipe another layer on top and ice it properly, and then we'll make a little design on top with the rest of the fruit jelly. Now we have our cake crumb coated, and I have my fruit jelly in between the layers. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add some more on top, on the sides of this cream chantilly. And I have some in a piping bag ready for me. Alright, now I'm just gonna work from the top down, and I'm just gonna smooth this right over top. This takes practice, but a steady hand goes a long way. And we're just gonna keep going like this until I've completely covered the cake and made a nice smooth icing layer. We're gonna go all the way around the cake and make it nice and smooth. And then once we're done, we'll pipe some details and stick it back in the fridge. Now I have my cake done and frosted, and it's nice and smooth on the outside, and I did some pipe work on the top so that I could put a little jelly on top. And then we're gonna let this set up in the freezer for just a minute. And here we have our finished Tres Leches cake with a mango pineapple fruit jelly on top and the chantilly cream.